Giving your emotion and an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know, no. I just know too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. And I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice. That's my only advice. Oh, who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You think you're in control. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart, lose their lives out on the land. And all I remember is thinking I want to be like them. Oh, yay! Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. Hello, everybody. It's a beautiful, what is today? Is today Tuesday? Today is Tuesday. It's the 9th of July, 2024. Guys, thank you for being with me here this evening at SML TV. Plot number 8585 on Simon Wera Lane here at Simoson Building. I decided to stay back and see if I could hop on here and sort of sprinkle some SML TV dust on the current political issues that surround our nation. Let me begin by saying, guys, there's nothing wrong with commenting about current political events. You must understand that. I consistently read some of your comments when you say, no, don't talk, just to keep quiet. Why? We are coming from a background, especially me. I'm coming from a background where there was a time I couldn't talk. There was a time I couldn't say what was on my mind because of retribution and retaliation and vengefulness. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, "Well, were you scared?" I said, "Yes, I was." You better believe I was scared. Of course I was scared. And some of you may listen to that and say, "Oh, then you are not a man." Well, I'll tell you what, somebody breaks into your office and they've got knives and screwdrivers and pangas, and they say to you they're going to kill you. I think you'd be scared. I think anybody would be scared. That is a traumatic experience for anyone. So I get amused when I hear people say, "Oh, which means you were scared." Yes, I was. Yes, I was fearful. Yes, I was concerned. Why? Because we're living in a time when I don't have to die. I've said this. I don't have to die for Mother Zambia. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda already did it. Vamwansaka Pwepwe already did it. Harry Mwangang Kumbula already did it. Why should I hang myself on the cross again when the redemptive work of Christ has already been done? That's Christian talk. If you don't know what that is, then you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. You got to be a Pentecostal to get what I just said right there. Crucifying Christ again when the redemptive work has already been done. That is tantamount. It's the same. It's equal to you and I laying our heads on the chopping block for Mother Zambia when it's already been done. It's already been paid for. It's already been sacrificed for. Our forefathers did it for us. We don't have to live in a dispensation where I have to die for my nation to prove my patriotism. That's nonsense. That's bull roar. That's hogwash. So yes, there was a time I was very scared, very fearful. And now here it is. I can sit here in my office in the middle of town, in the apex, at the epicenter of political turmoil, because remember this area, City Market, Simoson, Kanyama, Chivolia, Lumumba Road, this whole area is politically charged. Politically. During the PF, oh my goodness, if I were to whisper a word of dissension, a word that would go against the grain, a word that would be out of step with the party and its government. Those commanders. Utinga na fisa iwe mwewe ingefitwa umfowala ndapamwera uletisha bantu twala kudiringa twala kusta eliminate. You must check yourself before you wreck yourself, mwewa. That was the type of tyranny we lived under. And how dare you pretend that it didn't exist? It may not have existed for you, but oh, honey, it existed for us. And we will never forget. This is one of the reasons we're so passionate about not wanting to go back to that lifestyle, that way of life. There was a time that if you were a PF Kada, all you had to do was spread a green chitenga across your dashboard, the dashboard of your car, and you could break the law with impunity. Nobody would say anything. The police were powerless, toothless, tiger with a glass jaw. But 2021, the Zambian people woke up and said, no, we don't want that anymore. We want to live in a society where there's law and order. That's what we want. And in part, we've got it. We may not be in a perfect situation, but I'll tell you what, we're a whole lot better than what we were in those days. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, let me digress a bit, my brothers and sisters, and just sort of share with you my thoughts on where ECL's headspace is. Now, when I say ECL, I'm referring to the former and sixth president of the Republic of Zambia. ECL stands for Edgar Chagwa Lungu. I get amused. I was at a barbershop today and I was getting my hair cut. And, you know, any barbershop you go to, you invariably, you'll begin to talk about politics. And there's this one particular barbershop that I go to. That's all we ever talk about is politics. One of the people that was also cutting their hair seemed to think that no, Uyurunguyu, they should have just left him alone because now they are building him. They should have left him alone. They should have just allowed him to do whatever the hell he wanted. I turned to the guy and I said, well, you know, the Constitution is clear. If you are a former president, as Valungu is, if you have served this nation, in his case, he served 7 years. He was sworn in, he was elected twice. sworn in twice, and he served twice. And the Constitution says after having left your position as president, and then all of a sudden, if you decide to throw your hat back into the ring, in a sense, you have decided to abandon all of your benefits as a former head of state. Are you suggesting that the state just look at him and say, well, the law says if you come back to politics, then we sort of put a stop to your benefits, but we're just going to let you go. The law says that if you return to active politics, it causes a problem, and we may have to stop paying you what's owed to you because you have made a voluntary choice and decision. Perhaps it's time for us to stop paying you. What, did you want the state to look at ECL and say, well, we don't want to ruffle any feathers. We don't want to yank anybody's chain. We don't want to boil anybody's blood. So ECL, do whatever you want, and we're not going to talk about it. That's not how it works. Yin yang. For every action, there's a reaction. If this, then that. Simple. So here it is. The truth is, you are oversimplifying it when you say, that doesn't work. And let me hasten to add here that one of the reasons that ECL's in the mess that he's in today is because you remember, there was a time prior to the elections when he indicated that he would not be available. He would not run for a third term. He would not throw his hat back into the race. He made it clear. You remember that? Tell me in the comments. Bo Allen, I know you're on here. Bo, do you remember that? Do you remember that he said that once? He said, oh, I will not be available. My thought when he first said that was that he's heeding sound advice. He has the country at heart. He has prioritized the nation before himself. He served twice. He's been elected twice. Why, oh, why would he want to run for a third term? Now, remember, as I consistently say to you, the Word of God says there's nothing new under the sun. What is has been, and what is now will always be, so at some stage in life. Bachilua did the same thing. Bachilua woke up one morning and said, you know what? Power is sweet. For those of you that remember, some of you are too young to remember this, but our second president, Frederick Chiluba, once famously said, I didn't know power was so sweet. In Zambia, we say sweet. We don't say sweet. We say sweet. I didn't know power was so sweet. From that moment on, Chiluba went down a slippery slope of trying to convince the Zambian people that a third term would be in the offing and he would be at the helm. When Chiluba began to realize that the Zambian people were uncomfortable with this conversation, the Zambian people were not attuned to his way of thinking. When Chiluba noticed that, remember what he said? He said, I just said debate. Tell me in the comments if you remember that, him saying that. I said debate. I didn't say I want to run for a third term. I simply said debate. But Frederick Chiluba knew what that meant when he said what he said. He was toying with the Zambian people. He was fiddling around with the Zambians' political emotions. I just said debate. He was trying to absorb himself of blame. at the same time agitating the situation. The same person. So it's not new when we hear these leaders, these Zambian leaders, once they are stung with the potent concoction of power, they cannot resist. Power is so sweet. I will regain it at all costs. I know democracy dictates that I only serve 2 terms, but all because it's so sweet. Let me try and manipulate the Constitution, convince the Zambian people that I am worthy, me and me alone. I am the only one that can save this nation. Without me, the nation crumbles. Valungu once famously said, if I'm not on the ballot, there'll be chaos in this country. Well, unfortunately, Valungu, the world does not revolve around you. Okay? The world revolves on its axis, not on you. So if you don't become a candidate, guess what? The world still revolves. These African Zambian politicians seem to make you think that without them, nothing moves. They try to convince you that they are the be all and end all. They try to tell you that they are the Alpha and the Omega and that there's nothing in between them. But oh, my brothers and sisters, let me tell you, there's that beautiful word called tenure. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's one of the most beautiful words that's ever been concocted by the human mind. It's one of the most comely words that's ever been penned by the human mind. Tenure. Tenure. You've got a period in which to do stuff. We're not going to give you a blank check. Nobody gets a blank check. You know why? Because we are a democracy. We're not a monarchy. We do not have kings and queens that rule in perpetuity. We have men, elected officials that serve the interest of the country. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, honey. If for some reason you think that you're the Alpha and Omega, guess what? You're not. You're just used goods. That's all you are. You're just transition. You're a pilgrim. That's what you are. You're a pilgrim. You are a political pilgrim. Once you do your term, in the words of Beyonce, step aside, to the left, let somebody else step into the place of authority and do their bit. So here it is. I want you to know, I want to bring to you 3 reasons why ECL wants to run for a 3rd term. Now, of course, you can sit here and argue the fine points of the law and the Constitution and argue about, well, what does a term mean? And what does being sworn in mean? You can blobbity, blob. You can do all that all day. Who cares? Let's just deal with the crux of the issue. 3 reasons why ECL wants to run for a 3rd term. The number 1 reason: he was misled by the people around him. They convinced him, they whispered in his ear, ECL, we're doomed, brother. We're in trouble. The only way for us to get back to the way we used to live is through you. So guess what? You need to tell the Zambian people that you're coming back. Ule wele po. Ule wele po. ECL looked at them and said, you Negroes got to be crazy. I've served 2 terms. Kampiongo looked at ECL and said, we know that. But there's much more at stake than that. You need to listen to us, ECL. The wheels are falling off the wagon, brother. And guess what? You're the only one that can put us back on course. So ECL was misled by Abena Kampiongo, Abena Rafael Nakachinda, Abena Bowman, Abena Gibenubinda, Abena. They all misled him. That's number 1. Number 2, He misses the lifestyle they lived while they were in power. That's what it's about. The blank check that ECL had when he ruled and reigned over this nation, when the PF thought in their wayward thinking, they thought that the sun would never set upon the PF empire. They thought that they would rule and reign for 1,000 generations. But then Hakainde Hichilema came in and said, no, we don't rule, we serve. We are public elected officials that have a mandate to serve the people. You see, that was all strange talk. When HH came on the scene and he started using words like magnanimous, he started using words like serving the people of Zambia. To the PF, that was strange. Why? Because they were always used to a heavy-handed approach. We're going to rule over you. Twala miteka, fida tuteke nkoko, nenkumba, nempanya. Huh? We're going to tell you who's boss. The PF would walk around here like they were hot stuff. Abena Kalimanshi. Walking around here like they own the city. We're going to rule and reign. No, nobody rules because we're not a monarchy. We don't have kings and queens. We have a president that has a tenure under the umbrella of a democracy. We serve. When the people of Zambia give you an opportunity to serve, you serve. So here it is. The truth is, ECL misses the lifestyle they lived while they're in power. Number three, and this is the truth. ECL cannot stomach the thought of HH being president. ECL's ego has been bruised. When he first lost to HH, it was unfathomable because he had said so much. Remember when he was in the Copper Belt, he said, when I come back to power, I'm going to ensure that this man, HH, his political career is brought to an end. You know what he was saying there? We're going to put a line through HH's name instead of under it. We're going to get rid of HH. That's what Walungu was saying. And mark my words, had ECL won these last elections, HH today would be dead. Come on, let's be real. Don't get it twisted. There's no patty cake baker man up in here. Just tell the truth as it is. We're not tiptoeing through the tulips. I'm telling you the truth. That was the agenda. That was the goal. That was the plan. Get rid of him. Annihilate him. Put a line through his name instead of under it. That was what was going to happen. But the Zambian people woke up and said, no. That's not going to happen. So the truth is, he can't stomach that HH is president. And the whole goal, the whole objective, the whole plan, even though he can come to you, his constituents, the people that love and support him, because let's face it, in a democracy, nobody loves you 100%. Okay, there are people that voted for ECL and there are people that voted for HH. That's just democracy. You know, far be it from you, me, or anybody else to suggest that a presidential candidate gets 100% of the vote. That doesn't work. That doesn't exist. Okay, unless you live in a totalitarian state, which we are not. And the truth is, there are people that like ECL, and rightly so, because that's their guy. But far be it from you to think that he's the be-all and end-all. Far be it from you to think that. So the truth, my brothers and sisters, is that this whole thing is about bruised egos. This whole effort, this whole push, it's all about bruised effort, bruised ego. It's got nothing to do with love of country. What, you think Walungu is sitting there saying, I just want to provide for my people. I just want to see my people. I want to pull my people's feet out of the mire of clay and plant their feet on a higher ground. Is that what you think ECL is saying? No, man. He's sitting there saying, by hook or by crook, I'm going to regain power. And the moment I get power again, I'm going to fix HH. That's the goal. What do you not know that? Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious that that's what it is? So because it's that, don't sugarcoat it and say, oh no, Ewa Kwata, he's the one who has the heart for the people. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It has everything to do with bruised egos, revenge, retribution. All right. Twalanda sana. 25 minutes. Neninchero. Amadam valambo kuntumina amafoni hapa nomba. Moni kui? Ah. Ilo ngabambe financial issue evati. Azanda yach to Xandix. It's Xandered. All right. All right. We still remember Bill 10. Here it is. We're going to rule. There's no ruling, Vane. It's serving. That is a word that needs to be omitted from the Zambian political vocabulary. Please understand that. Remove that word from your political vocabulary. Nobody rules. Elected officials serve under a mandate that has a tenure. Are you getting that? Okay. All right, I gotta go. God bless you. Thank you for listening.